I'll now introduce our next guest. Saul Blinkoff is a director and producer who began his career as an animator for the Walt Disney Studios. He worked on the hit films Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mulan, and Tarzan. Please welcome Saul Blinkoff.
Good evening, good evening. It's really an honor for me to be here this evening. Recently, I was at the IAC National Summit in Florida, and I was overwhelmed. How many people were there? Yeah. I was overwhelmed, not just because there was over 4,000 people there. I was overwhelmed because you could feel Israel in America. And if there's one quality that Israelis have, it's resilience. Israel is nothing short of living a dream. I know a little bit about dreams. I've worked at Disney. It's the place of dreams. I want to share with you a little bit about my history. I was 6 years old, and I love to do what all 6-year-olds love to do. I love to draw. I used to draw on everything, on the walls with my mother's lipstick. When I was in high school, I went to the movies. I saw the movie The Little Mermaid. I tapped my mom, and I said, "Mom, that's what I want to do someday." My mom's like, "What, you want to fall in love with a fish?" I said, "No, Mom, I want to be a Disney animator." I just had one problem. I had no idea how to become a Disney animator. Today, you want to be a Disney animator, you go to a little thing called Google, and you type in, "How do you become a Disney animator?" Back then, yeah, that's right, no internet. That's right. Remember those days, people? Yeah, my kids can't even believe it. No internet. I didn't have an internet, but you know what I did have? The most supportive mother in history. My mom takes me on a trip to Disney World. I was growing up in New York. She took me down the coast to Disney World and walked me around just so she could ask Disney employees, "How do you become a Disney animator?" It was actually very embarrassing. She's like, going to the Disney, we're getting on the It's a Small World boat ride, you know? We're stepping on that boat ride. And the Disney lady's like, "How many people in your party?" I'm like, "2. My mom's like, "By the way, my son wants to be a Disney animator. Can you help him?" The lady's like, "Ma'am, this is a boat ride?" You know? She says, "If you want to work at Disney, you got to go to the Disney casting building." It was 4 minutes away from where we were in Disney World. Can you imagine what a Disney office building looks like? Amazing. I open up the doors, I walk in, I'm in this atrium, gold statuettes of Mickey, Donald, Pluto, Goofy. Even the air in there was like pixie dust, you know, like Disney air. I sit there for the interview. The lady says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I want to be a Disney animator." She goes, "Well, we don't hire those." I'm like, "Well, who do you hire?" She says, "We hire people that work the rides. People that make the Dumbo ride go up and down." I'm like, "Not my dream." She goes, "Look, if you want to be a Disney animator, you need to go to one of these schools." She took out a piece of paper with a list of 8 schools, 8 art schools that Disney recruits their artists from. She says, "You want to be an animator, go to one of these schools." So my unbelievably supportive mom takes me on a trip to each of these schools to find out which would be a good fit for her son. And I get to one school in Columbus, Ohio. The guy's touring me around the school, and all the artwork on the walls was 100 times better than anything that I could ever do. And you know how I felt? I was intimidated. Why would I want to go to a school where I would be the worst one at the school? Because I have a theory. I don't care if you're 2 years old, I don't care if you're 120 years old. Every single person in the entire world wants the exact same thing. We all want greatness. We all want great lives. I grew up in the 90s. Michael Jordan was the embodiment of greatness. After one of his first games, first year in the NBA, a sports writer comes up to Michael and says, "Michael, you're a scoring machine, but you have no defensive game." You know what Michael Jordan said? "I guess I better work harder on defense." You know what he could have said? "You're wearing my Air Jordan sneakers. I made $1 gajillion playing basketball. I'm going to listen to you." But years later, Jordan said in an interview, he heard one thing: "Something I'm doing is giving that guy the perception that I don't have a defensive game. I guess I better work harder on defense." And he did. And next year in the league, one player was named Defensive Player of the Year. Number 23, Michael Jordan. And I thought, you know what? If I want to be a great artist, then if I go to a school like this, then I'll get better. And I chose the school. Thank God they chose me. First day I come into the school, I'm intimidated. Everybody wants to work at Disney. 1 week later, a Disney representative comes to our school. The guy's standing on a stage. 750 students are in there, every freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Out of the 750, the guy from Disney says, "How many of you want to work at Disney?" Every hand went up. He said, "Out of the 750 of you, maybe, just maybe 4 of you will ever work there." That's how competitive it is. And when he said that, I thought one thing: I wonder who the other 3 are going to be. Because in life, you either believe in yourself, thank you. You either believe in yourself that you can accomplish something or you don't. And I believed in myself. I thought I could do it. I remember getting my drawings together, all my figure drawings and life drawings, drawings of animals together my sophomore year. I put them in a black leather portfolio. I sent it to Disney. I get a letter 2 weeks later on Disney stationery. Had my name, gold leaf Mickey on there. Disney knew I was alive. My name was printed on an envelope. I open it up and it says, Saul, thanks for sending your portfolio in, but unfortunately you didn't make it. I was rejected. You know, I didn't even care. Like I said, I was happy Disney knew I was alive. I took that letter, I put it up over my desk. Another year goes by. Me and my best friend Andy, we sent our portfolios in together, and I get a letter, I don't know, 2 months later from Disney, another one, Saul, thanks for sending your portfolio in, but unfortunately, you didn't make it. I got rejected. And I became known in school as the guy who didn't get what he really, really wanted. And you know how I felt? I felt like a loser. And you know what I did? I came up with the most brilliant way to take the feeling of being a loser away. You know what I did? I gave up. I gave up on the entire dream because you know what happened? Reality set in. You know what reality is? I'm just an average guy who wants something really bad, but there's so many other artists that are natural, they're better. And I gave up on the entire dream. A week later, a buddy calls me up and he says, Saul, I got tickets to go see a movie. Do you want to go? I said, I'm not in the mood. He goes, but they're free. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go. I go to the movies and I'm watching a movie and tears are streaming down my face. You ever see a movie that talks to you for what you're going through in your life? Tears are streaming down my face because I'm watching a movie, a true story, about a guy who's 5 feet tall. He doesn't have an ounce of athletic ability and he wants to play football at Notre Dame. What movie is it? Yeah, how many people have seen Rudy? Amazing, amazing movie. I'm watching that movie and I'm thinking one thing. If a short guy like that could get into Notre Dame because he put his heart into everything, then an untalented artist like me could get into Disney if I work really, really hard. And I decided to never give up again. And I got my drawings together, I sent them to the Disney company, and a month later, I got in. Wow, it happened. I actually got in, thank you. Started working the film Pocahontas, then I worked on Hunchback, Mulan. Right before I went onto the film Tarzan, we had a break. They call it downtime. Downtime is they pay you to do nothing. It's awesome. I tell my kids, they ever offer you a job with downtime? Take the job. So with that vacation time, I found myself in Israel. I went to Israel on a program learning about Judaism, learning about my Jewish identity, and I remember hearing one thing, it changed my life. I learned about a mezuzah, the little thing in the doorway. The rabbi asked us, what's the mezuzah for? I'm like, I don't know, doesn't it like guard your house from evil spirits? He's like, okay, we'll come back to that. He says, you know what's inside the mezuzah? It's part of the Torah, the Bible. And we're commanded to put that mezuzah on our doorway. And this is what the rabbi said. He says, you know what a mezuzah is? It's not a thing that you put on a doorway. It's an opportunity. We leave our homes, we go out into the world, we pass, we transition by that mezuzah. It's an opportunity to ask myself a question. I'm going out into the world. What kind of a world do I want to create? What am I living for? I remember being very inspired. I go back to Disney. I become a director. And I start thinking, I'm not just a director anymore. I'm a Jewish director. What can I do? How can I live as a Jew with filmmaking? So you know what I do? Did you ever hear how like Disney artists put things in movies? They hide things in the movies? I'm like, I'll hide something. I was directing a Winnie the Pooh movie at the time. I go over to Winnie the Pooh's house. I sharpen the pencil. And next to his doorway, I hid a mezuzah. Yeah, I drew it in the movie. Now he's not Winnie the Pooh, he's Winnie the Jew, yeah. If there's one value that Judaism highlights, it's responsibility. That is the value that Judaism embodies. That's why we're all here tonight. We're all here tonight because we feel a calling for responsibility, to get out of my own life and see what I can live for that's bigger than myself. A responsibility for the Jewish people, a responsibility for the state of Israel, a responsibility to the United States of America. It's a huge honor for me to be here tonight. I want to thank the Adelsons for hosting us. Thank you so much. Such an honor. And I want to give a special thank you to our honoree, Ivanka. It's a pleasure. You really embody responsibility. We're all here to honor you. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Saul, before you go, we actually have someone who would like to say hello to you. So stay up here on the stage for a second, Saul.
Okay.
Here is someone who's coming to say hello. This is actually Rudy.
Oh my gosh.
In real life.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The inspiration for the real life movie. Rudy Ruettiger, everyone.
Oh, I can't even believe, oh my gosh. My wife is here. Honey, are you seeing this? I'm dreaming. This is the night of dreams.
Listen.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
There's a reason
You're
why
killing
we
me.
met tonight, right?
You're killing me.
Yeah, you're killing me.
You're killing me.
I pitched that movie to Disney 20 years ago.
You did?
Yeah, they turned me down.
Okay, so we gotta talk.
We gotta talk.
I'm at DreamWorks now.
Yeah, I know.
Disney says no, DreamWorks says yes. Let's make it happen.
We gotta make it happen.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here. This is such a highlight for me. Thank you so much.
God bless
And I have to tell you, I mean, I was not prepared. I just have to tell you that if it wasn't for your story, it was more than a movie, it was your story. If it wasn't for your story, I literally would have given up. And I can tell you that I've traveled to many college campuses and I have talked about your life and the emulation that people have and wanting to realize that anyone can achieve their dream with hard work. It's amazing to meet you. Thank you so much. Give it up for him. It's real. It's real.
We're gonna make history come true.
Yeah, okay, let me do it. Is that jersey for me?
For you.
You know, my brother went to Michigan. He may have a problem with this. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Rudy and Saul,
Hey,
everyone.
selfie. Hi.
We now ask that you please turn your attention.
Yeah. Good. So, man, have a seat, brother.
My heart is in Israel, my great tradition is in the United States.
Israel means to me my homeland and the place I was born, the place I love. Israel is me.
The values that he left to me, honesty and philanthropy, I live by those values. As the state of Israel goes, as the citizens, the Jews of the state of Israel go, so go the Jews of the